Even Reality G2 glasses are launching tomorrow on November 12th in less than 24 hours. These heads-up display glasses are the sequel to the Even Reality G1s, released about a year ago. People are pretty excited about this, but why is that? The Even Reality G1s launched in August of 2024. They were essentially marketed as the world's first HUD in-lens display glasses in America that were really lightweight and didn't have a camera whatsoever. For a lot of people, this is really exciting because they don't necessarily want a camera in their glasses, or maybe their workplace doesn't allow it. The really cool thing about it, they have a dual lens display that's created by these sort of projectors, so you get way better clarity than other glasses that might just have a one lens display like the Meta displays. It is monochromatic, so it's green like the Roku glasses, and they focus on being a really simple and elegant product. They weigh in at just 44 grams, which is lighter than any of the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, albeit by only 5 grams, but they look way more low-key. Honestly, they look pretty stylish. Now with the display, they integrated a bunch of different cool apps for people to use. They've also added to this since the launch of the glasses. So all these things you can expect to see in the G2s as well. This includes Quick Note, which allows you to record voice reminders that are saved to the glasses as text to remind you later, subtitle translation, which is great, navigation, a teleprompter, their own Even AI, as they call it, for AI responses, notifications, a dashboard, which is sort of your all-inclusive HUD center where you can see the time, stock charts, calendar events, and the weather, of course. Finally, Transcribe, which is just a live captioning feature for in case you want subtitles for real life. The display does look really cool, but there are some problems that users have reported with these glasses. And there's another thing that's not really marketed clearly on the website, and that's that there is a subscription, but it's only for the Pro translation. So translation with better accuracy. And that plan for 1 hour of the translation is $5, 5 hours of translation is $24, and 10 hours of translation is $45. Which is a lot. You can still use translation, it just won't be as good as this Pro version. And those are the features on the G1s that you can definitely expect to see on the G2s. Now, one thing I noticed about the trailer for the G2s is the HUD, well, it still looks really futuristic, still monochrome green, but it looks noticeably bigger than what the website shows for the G1s. So you could be getting a bigger display, probably not enormous because they don't want it to cover your entire field of view, but just big enough to have some more important details so that you don't have to scroll as much, or for when you're doing the teleprompter stuff, you can see more of the text on screen, which would be a really cool update. There's also some people speculating that proactive AI might be coming, which essentially allows the AI to offer suggestions based on your surroundings or what might be happening. Now, this might be a little confusing since they don't have a camera, but they're pretty adamant on keeping it that way. And they say you can get a lot of the context of what's happening around you just from listening, so through the microphone. So there might be some sort of integration of this. They also said they've been listening to feedback on the G1s and are trying to improve things on the G2s. Now, the biggest problem that a lot of people seem to be having, as you can see from this Reddit post and comments in this other one, is that the software and connectivity seems to be kind of iffy on how often it works, with one user reporting that it only works about 60% of the time, and other users reporting that it will just randomly lose the network signal, and then you can't really do anything. The number one complaint I've been able to find, so hopefully that is something that they are able to improve. And the second most popular complaint I could find was that for some people, they tend to not be the most comfortable, or they tend to slide off people's faces easily. Reading all these reviews, it's pretty clear that people do really like how you can't really tell these are AI glasses, and a lot of people find the teleprompter really useful, and the glasses overall useful for simple things, even though they're not the most advanced things in the world. I mean, for instance, you can't actually listen to any audio with them. There's no speakers. That allows them to be a lot smaller and low key, but if you want to listen to music with them, that's not something you can do. But those are the improvements that it seems like we could see, maybe proactive AI, but I guess we'll know in less than 24 hours. I don't know if I'll buy them, but I'll definitely be paying attention to whatever new features they might release. Up next, we have the RayNeo X3 Pros officially being sort of unveiled. There's an entire article on RayNeo's official website, and it's pretty crazy, including a partnership that we were not expecting. These are expected to launch based on these Reddit posts and on their article on November 20th. So pretty soon here, less than 2 weeks. And these are kind of somewhere in between Meta displays and Inmo Air 3s. They're like the Meta display glasses, but they have dual lens displays in full color. You have maps navigation, you have AI, a camera, and a bunch of other really cool features. Now, it does seem like a lot of these companies are approaching this at different angles. I mean, you have the Inmo Air 3 that runs on Android 14 as a standalone product. It's a little bit bulky, but it does an insane amount of stuff. Well, you have like the Apple Vision Pro past that does cameras, an even more insane amount of stuff. This far end, you have the Ray-Ban Metas, Gen 1, Gen 2, no display. Then you have the Meta displays that are really cool, single lens, but it's full color, 600 pixels. And then now in this space, you have the RayNeo X3 Pro. They're dual lens display full color glasses, but they're actually the size of Ray-Ban Metas. It's kind of crazy. Now, this isn't RayNeo's first attempt at this. Obviously, they have the X2s, not really widely known in America at all. But I mean, just look at this trailer footage. They're pretty impressive. Now, I think the biggest news about this product launch is that they, in their words, are especially proud to announce a groundbreaking strategic partnership with Gemini, Google's most capable AI. So, I mean, look at this image. This is what you can see in the display. You have the navigation in the upper corner, and you have all of your flight info, your seat, your gate, arrival time, all of that stuff. Obviously, if you've used Gemini before, you know that is the really cool thing about it, is it does give you more of a visual response to AI questions than just ChatGPT, which just gives you a giant text string. So the fact that they've been able to get the AI in the RayNeo X3 Pros as Gemini, as a more comprehensive assistant than just normal AI responses, is kind of crazy. It has a Qualcomm Snapdragon AR1, which apparently is the most advanced chipset for AR devices. The display quality is supposed to be really good, and apparently the speakers are really good as well. Another crazy thing is they actually have two cameras. One that's for AI questions and obviously taking photos and videos, and the other to focus on perception, such as SLAM and hand tracking. That being said, I don't know if there's going to be actual hand tracking in these, but it opens up the possibility for a lot of future crazy things that they could do with these. But these glasses have more applications than just the ones I've shared. You do have to have a smartphone tethered to your glasses, just like the Meta displays or the Roku glasses or any other smart glasses besides the Inmo Air 3s. Those are kind of like a different category at this point. But I'm pretty excited about this product. They posted their own article. People on Reddit are talking about it. It could be pretty crazy, so it's definitely something to be on the lookout for. Okay, finally, we have Black Friday smart glasses deals. If you've been wanting to get smart glasses for a long time, it could be time to do this pretty soon, as some pretty intriguing deals might be coming your way. Now, Black Friday is November 28th, which is a little more than 2 weeks away. Cyber Monday will be December 1st, the Monday after. But a lot of times companies will run these deals for the entire week of Thanksgiving and going into the week after. So this could be coming in definitely less than 2 weeks, so just make sure you're prepared, and you might want to hold off on some purchases of maybe some products I might mention if you're already going to get them and they might be on sale for Black Friday. With that being said, we can definitely look at the past and what companies actually do sales on their smart glasses repeatedly on Black Friday. We can also look at the percentage cut that they're actually willing to give, so you can decide if it's worth it to wait for that percentage discount. And yeah, let's just go back to 2024. What smart glasses companies actually did Black Friday deals? And there were 4 of them: Meta, XReal with 2 different products, RayNeo, and Vitcher. So first off, all of those except for Meta last year only really had AR glasses. Glasses like this Vitcher Luma Ultra. And when you put these on and plug them into your phone or whatever other device, you get a full enormous movie screen mirror of your device to play video games, watch movies, shows, look at some fancy HUD you designed, or whatever you want. So last year, the XReal Air 2 Pro went from $449 all the way down to $349, which is a pretty crazy discount. 23% actually. It was released in November of 2023. So about a year later is when they did their Black Friday deal. Because I mean, the first time it came out right before Thanksgiving, it wouldn't make any sense for them to do a Black Friday deal that first year. Next is the RayNeo Air 2S. This right here is the RayNeo Air 3S Pro, which came out late this summer. So the Air 2S last year went from $399 all the way down to $269. That is a 33% discount. An entire third of the price was just cut like that. So these deals can get really, really nice. Now the Air 2S is very similar to what I just described. Those screen glasses you can plug your phone into and watch movies, play games, all that stuff with extremely high quality in a really big size. Now here's where it gets interesting. The RayNeo Air 2S was released on August 15th, 2024. So just 3 months and 1 week later, they gave it a 33% discount. So it's pretty likely that RayNeo might do the same thing again this year. And the competitors we have for that are either the RayNeo Air 3S, which released on October 29th, 2024. And again, these companies, if they release right before Black Friday, they're not going to give it a Black Friday sale probably until the next year. So it's pretty likely that the RayNeo Air 3S will probably get a discount this year. But the RayNeo Air 3S Pro, the one I just showed you, released near the end of August. And if you remember, that's about 3 months before Black Friday, which is when they felt comfortable doing a 33% discount on the RayNeo Air 2S. So it's possible we could get a Black Friday deal on both of those. And it gets even crazier, guys, because the Air 2S, which is a little obsolete now since they are moving so fast creating these new products, was $399. But right now, the RayNeo Air 3S is $269 and the Air 3S Pro is $299. So getting discounts on those, this could be the best time ever to get AR glasses. Because so far our examples are 23 and 33%. If they did that 33% discount like they did last year, that would bring the Air 3S all the way down to $180 and the Air 3S Pro all the way down to $200 even. That second one is probably more likely because it is a very round number. They could just leave it at $199, but this is just based on past trends. They might not do this at all, but I'm telling you right now, that would be a crazy deal. I love these things. I use them all the time, especially when I'm in bed. Use the Air 3S Pros, so it could be a crazy deal. As for XReal, based on the fact that they did their Black Friday deal about a year after the release of the product, it's possible we could see one for the XReal 1, which is an absolutely insane pair of AR glasses because you can minimize the screen and push it to different sides so it follows you around at a size that's much more manageable. So you don't have to have it cover up the entire movie screen-like appearance if you don't want to. And this is really useful for things like whatever HUD elements you want to display mirror from your phone, like at the beginning of my HUD glasses video where I did a bunch of crazy stuff. Now the XReal 1 Pro, which don't get me wrong is insane, that one came out in July of 2025. So they probably won't do a Black Friday deal on that one based on what they've done in the past. And honestly, I think the XReal 1 is a way better value purchase. That goes on sale, which it's $499 right now. For the 23% that they did before, that would bring it down to less than $400, $384 to be exact, but they would probably do something more like $399 or something like that. Next we have Viture. They did a Black Friday deal on the Viture Pro, which came out in July of 2024. So 4 months later is when they did their deal, and it went all the way from $499 to $399. Now, if you're noticing a trend here, which I definitely am, all of these AR glasses, well, actually all of the products that are $399 and more, all get discounted by at least $100. Now, $499 to $399, that's about a 20% discount. Now, for following the previous trends, the glasses that came out in July of 2025 for Viture are the Viture Luma Pro glasses. The previous year, it was just the Viture Pro. So it's literally the exact same line, the next generation of that, released on the exact same day that year. It's pretty likely they'll do a Black Friday deal again this year. And these glasses are $499, the exact same price that the ones were last year for their previous models. So if they do it again, pretty highly likely that it will be $399 for the Viture Luma Pros, which are also really, really great AR glasses. Okay, now the moment a lot of you have probably been waiting for, Meta. So Meta is no stranger to offering really good discounts on their glasses. If you guys remember, this last summer, they had like 20%-ish discounts all summer for Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s, kind of to celebrate releasing the Oakley Metas and then releasing their 3 new glasses at the end of the summer. They also did a Black Friday deal last year on the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1 glasses, which at that point had been out for about a year. And they discounted from $329 all the way down to $263, which is around the price you can get a used one now, but you'd be getting a brand new one from Meta. That is almost exactly a 20% discount, very similar to what they did just this last summer. Now, if you pair this with the fact that Zuck said on an earnings call that they had already sold 2 million Ray-Ban Metas and they are planning to sell 5 million. That's their next goal. And he wants to do it soon to spread mass adoption of these glasses. And what's the best way to do that? Probably by selling more of their cheapest model. So when you combine the fact that he's trying to sell as many Ray-Ban Metas as possible with the fact that they have a history of doing the deal in the summer, 20% discount, and then 6 months before that in November, doing a 20% off Black Friday deal for brand new Ray-Ban Metas. So I think it's pretty highly likely that they would not miss out on a chance to sell way more Ray-Ban Metas because so many people are looking to spend money on Black Friday. It's almost inevitable, and I don't see why he would not take advantage of this opportunity, or Meta as a company. It seems like a pretty crazy one to sell a bunch more, and my bet is they're going to try to sell the cheapest one more, or maybe their new Gen 2s. Those would be my 2 best bets. I think if they go for the cheapest one definitely and make that one even more on sale, they could sell a lot of copies of brand new ones. And these right now are going for $299 on their website. And $299 plus the cultishly common 20% off from their previous discounts would bring it all the way down to $240 for a brand new pair of Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1 glasses. And I think a lot of people would be willing to buy it at that price point, especially because it would be brand new. It wouldn't be used. Now, could the Gen 2s go on sale? Yes. The cheapest one of those is $379, and 20% off that is $303, but they're not going to do that. So if they were doing the Gen 2s on sale, they would probably bring that $379 model all the way down to $299, which I think also a lot of people would buy it at that price point as well, including myself. So that is the Black Friday deal speculation based on past trends of what these companies have already done. I think this stuff is pretty likely. And we also have more more smart glasses companies than ever before this year. So it's also possible that other companies that didn't do Black Friday deals before will be doing them this year. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you excited about the Even G2s? Are you excited about the RayNeo X3 Pros? You want to see me do a video on them? And are you excited for the Black Friday deals of smart glasses? Because they're definitely coming. And I think a lot more people are going to own smart glasses by the end of November. So pretty crazy times. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.